Greetings everyone, Adventures Infinity here with Let's Play Starcraft 2, Legacy of the Void. Back on my account that doesn't have the Legacy of the Void achievements unlocked quite yet, but we have finished Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm. If you want to see my series on those, I have playlists on the channel. But for now though, let's get started. When you get the expansion, you have the prologue, Whispers of Oblivion, as well as the main story unlocked. The epilogue is unlocked once you finish the main story, but we're going to start, of course, with the prologue, as what would only make sense. Zeratul, branded a heretic and a traitor by his people, has spent the last 6 years searching for the truth behind the return of the Xel'Naga. Having delivered warnings to both the Terrans and the Zerg, the part the Protoss must play in the galactic events still eludes him. With that, let's start a new campaign. On Brutal, of course. Can't do YouTubing without going all in. In an era of great uncertainty, the Dark God Amon has been reborn on an unknown world, heralding doom for all life in the Krulu sector. Before returning to his people to face their judgment, Zeratul scours the galaxy to find a way to stop the coming darkness. In this late hour, he seeks the last fragments of an ancient prophecy that could provide a ray of hope. Expanding to a new resource location allows you to speed up unit production and can give you a foothold closer to the front line. Not going to be that prevalent in this first prologue mission, but a good stepping stone. Come on. I'm so excited.
As it was foretold, Amon, the Dark God, lives again. If any hope remains for our galaxy, it lies in the hands of the Xel'Naga. Only one piece of the prophecy remains unfulfilled, that on the world where Amon was reborn, the last light will be revealed. There is one being who knew that location, a creature known as Samir Duran, or to the Terrans, as Narud. In this system hides a long-forgotten Mobius facility. I must hope his secrets still rest within its walls.
Zeratul, it is a great honor. I am Praetor Talis, and I humbly request your aid. An unknown force has been abducting Templar from our colony worlds. My forces and I have managed to track them to a Terran facility, but we are under attack by the Swarm.
The Swarm? I'm on my way, Talis. May Adun hide you until I arrive.
Our brethren are being held prisoner across the complex. We must free them before the Swarm overwhelms the facility.
Zeratul, I thought I sensed your presence. Let's not mince words. Why are you here?
This place holds information I seek, and my captured brethren. I intend to free them both from the Terran's grip.
This facility is a breeding ground for Amon's hybrid army. My swarm will erase it from existence. But I know that won't stop you. So let me make this clear. Stay out of our way, Zeratul.
Do not fear. We will not abandon this fight, Talis. If we are swift and clever, we can avoid the Swarm.
Very well. I have made our nexus point ready for your arrival.
Yeah, for some reason they say Nexus Point now all the time. Dang.
The captive Templar are kept just ahead. Ready your blades, warriors!
Alright, so this is a interesting mission. The prologue missions have I guess a difficulty curve.
Kerrigan will send the Swarm to destroy the station's reactor. We must free our brothers before that happens. Dark Prelate, We will need to cross the swarm's attack route to reach the captives. Move forward only when it is clear. Avoid the Zerg's forces at all costs. You have not enough minerals.
Yeah, as I was saying, the prologue missions seem to have a difficulty curve sitting somewhere around an end game level of difficulty. It's a little odd, but we'll work with what we have. So this is treated almost like it was near the end of a campaign. Now I want to have my army standing over here. Let's make sure the stalkers stay behind the zealots.
The swarm gathers for an attack. Warriors, stay clear of the Zerg's path.
Minions, push forward. Slay these hybrid thralls to the last.
Let's spend a few chrono boosts on probes, but not a ton. This still uses the regular chrono boost that you might be familiar with if you played multiplayer Legacy of the Void, or not Legacy of the Void, Wings Liberty or Horde of the Swarm. Aha, need new pylons. I'm gonna make the first couple pylons over here. If it isn't obvious yet, we're gonna get attacked from that direction. And that's going to determine when we actually move out. Let's start ground upgrades, and we can chrono boost that now. Grab all the gas we can. Okay. And let's get an extra stalker. If we have a couple of sentries, we should be good. And now I want to warp in primarily zealots. Save our gas for a while. The prologue missions are actually available before the expansion came out.
Eliminate the Protoss base. Glory to our master.
So yeah, this is what we're preparing for here. Oh, I lost a sentry. Alright, but sentries actually
surely attack soon.
I want to have my forces here quickly get across.
Eliminate the central reactor.
Ooh, that was close. You could wait until afterwards, but I wanted to do it now. Now I want to get a dark shrine started. And we want to get some cannons in place. Let's focus on more probes, and we're gonna hotkey you, and that's gonna be the probe that stays with us to build pylons. I want to make sure we have at least a 3-pack of cannons. Not exactly where I would have wanted to place it, but it works. Okay, we're gonna need to start another upgrade soon. Good enough. And the Dark Shrine should be finishing up soon. As soon as we have this 3-pack of cannons started, we will get going. Okay. Now the next thing I want is actually to get a couple more gateways started. Let's warp in stuff while we're waiting. That 3-pack of cannons will protect us at first. Now we have our Dark Shrine. Three gateways should be good. 2 more probes. Okay, Dark Templar will move out and start doing some damage for us.
From the shadows, I come.
Slay the Protoss. Their flesh will serve the master.
Okay. Now, unlike the guide that I wrote, I don't want to wait here too long. We're going to be a little more proactive. Finish off everyone that's there once the Dark Templar have done some work. And while the sentries restore some shields, you have these guys attack up here.
These Terrans' minds have been consumed. They are slaves to the hybrid.
Okay. Gonna lose a little bit over here, but not too terribly much. Finish that one off. Oh man. There we go. I guess that stalker is just gonna hang out there. Put another 3-pack of cannons down. Okay. Oh, this is part of the reason I sent the Dark Templar up there was actually to get work started up here. Okay, I now actually want to make sure I have a Templar Archives on the way. Have our forces clear everything out. And in here we have some resources. Okay. And then we're actually going to put some cannons down here. Not a ton, but enough to slow stuff down. Okay, I want to start shields upgrade. We're going to start chrono boosting that. And I'm waiting for the Templar Archives to be done so we can warp in some High Templar, which will be very useful for what we're going to be fighting here. So let's do a Zealot and a couple High Templar, because that's what we have resources for. Let's send the Dark Templar back in there to keep clearing out stuff. And we're going to feed back this Raven with the High Templar. Send everyone else in to cover all the Marines coming in. Wanted to get rid of the Raven so that they can't detect.
The Zerg forces will move soon. We must be cautious.
I'm gonna put a few more cannons down here, and then we're gonna
Tear apart their reactor. The Queen of Blades demands it.
Thank you. We believed the end was at hand.
What do you know of this facility, Zealot?
The Terrans tortured us, experimented upon our flesh. Most did not survive. I have seen foul work of this nature before, but Narud is dead. Whose hand brought you here? Alas, I know not. Praetor, we wish to join you, to avenge our brothers in arms.
Then ready yourselves, Templar.
Those are pretty cool designs of the leg wrappings and all, but I wonder why they kept their side blades.
Warriors, there is another cell ahead. Go forth and claim the vengeance you seek.
Okay, let's not bring the really high energy Templar just yet. We're gonna walk these Templar forward. Oh, nope, feedback. Aww. I wanted to feed back all 3 of those medics, but oh well.
Terrans are warping in. Impossible.
They are experimenting with pylon technology. We should eliminate these Terrans and reclaim the pylon for ourselves.
Reclaiming the pylon now. It is hard to believe such primitive beasts could manipulate our technology.
Yeah, I had to reload, but oh well. You want to be at this point at about 13 minutes in. I messed up a little bit ahead. But you want to make sure that
Another wave of Zerg gathers. Avoid them if you can.
The swarm is upon you, Mobius Core. We are a tide of death that does not break.
want to keep the weak units back. Let's actually just make Archons out of those guys. And now the attack route has just been sent forward. Let's make sure we have some more Stalkers. Now we have Archons to be a little tanky. I actually want to wait till the next round of Warpins. Let's get that on the way now. Because I do want to make sure we have some Templar as we go across.
We shall stand against
Just because feedback is very important. Now, this probe is dual parts making forward pylons as well as making sure we're able to actually get everything we need done. Now, you can use feedback on the Thors because while they don't have the upgrade to be able to, or while they don't have the 350mm cannon ability anymore, they still have the energy for it, I assume, just to make it so it's a bit easier.
well done. Destroying the bridge control has extended a walkway to our nexus point.
Alright, with that done, let's also make sure we have a good bunch of cannons in front. I have more resources right now than I'm used to having. Alright.
The swarm will begin another assault soon.
But yeah, I've gotten 2...
Those who side with Amon's hybrid deserve no mercy. Devour them whole.
But yeah, I've gotten 2 robotics facilities on the way now, and I want to start pumping out Immortals. This is also why I wanted to keep this area relatively clear. Make sure there was a walkway. Haha. that was why I put cannons back there. Okay, let's make sure we have some sentries. They do some really good work in making sure your army stays alive. And I want to keep warping stuff in. Let's make sure we have at least a couple more zealots in particular. And as soon as we get our first immortal, we're going to run in. Okay, good to go. Let's make sure the Archons are in front. And the reason we want Archons is because, well, they are very, very beefy. And keep everyone else alive. Let's get the Stalkers out of the way. Come on, take out that... Alright, come on. There we go. Almost failed on that one. Did I? Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like we don't have as much units as we're supposed to. But we won anyway. And this will do for our needs. Oh! Haha! Okay. It's able to keep the Raven from owning us. Let's get a base on the way. We're going to need to use this to clear our way forward. Let's get a robotic support bay on the way so we can make Colossi. And get rid of this Raven.
Your time is running short, Zeratul.
Kerrigan, you know as well as I that Amon lives. Slaying his hybrid is a meaningless act. We must awaken the Zelnaga.
No response. Better to reason with a stone than a Zerg. The final cell awaits us, Zeratul. We should delay no longer.
Alright, I want to make sure I have at least 2 High Templar at this point. Just for our next challenge ahead. We're going to start running out of mineral patches back here. So as soon as the Nexus is about done, I'm just going to give the order now. Gonna transfer most of our probes over. We're not going to bother making more probes just because we're just about done anyway. Wanted the 2 Templars so that I could feed back those guys. And now let's run on in. The Zealot immortal group should handle this rather nicely. There we go. Let's make sure we get all these resources and have our probe make a pylon up here. Our special follower probe. Okay. Now I do want to make sure we have a couple Colossus on the way. Ideally I want 4 by the time everything's said and done. And I'm just going to wait for this pylon to show up.
The swarm prepares to assault Mobius Core's final defenses. We must travel swiftly.
Minions, go forth and slaughter. I wish to be done with this already.
Alright, so we have the Raven out of the way. We're going to get a couple more Dark Templar to start doing work for us while we're still building up. And I want to make sure that we get all our gas production going. Ideally, I would have wanted to be past this point by now, but oh well. Let's get a ton more zealots in the next warp-in wave.
My charge. What? We shall stand against.
At least this is handling it. Okay. Where's our Colossi? There's our Colossi. Alright, let's run everyone in. Make sure we feed back the Thor and the Banshee. Banshee should be one-shot by the feedback. We're gonna have the Dark Templar deal with this tank back here. Who's making the Immortal? Stop making the Immortal. Make me another Colossus. Okay, probe, another pylon back here. The hotkeyed probe. Oh, and that achievement that I got before, I was reminded by coming over here. The, oh.
The Zerg are on the attack. Avoid them, brothers.
Minions, target the central reactor. Go. Destroy.
Both pylons have been returned to our rightful control. Warping in reinforcements now.
Okay. Yes, that Colossus is on the way. Let's hurry you up. Get the rest of the probes on the way. And let's do a mid-mission 2. Just to make sure we got this right.
We shall stand against.
I want to take the lowest energy Templar and pair him up with another dude to be turned into an Archon. This part of the mission requires a little bit of luck. Sometimes Kerrigan breaks through pretty early, sometimes she doesn't. It looks like, thankfully, she's working a little late. Where's the other... Ah, there's the other Colossi. I'm gonna go as soon as he gets here. Let's have the probe follow one of the Colossi. And I'm hoping I'm gonna be able to cross before the next wave comes in. Let's make sure we have some probes, or some sentries rather. And then... Alright, let's go. Our probe should be in that group. We want the Archons heading the party. And we have a few Colossi.
Defenses are growing stronger. Push forward with all our might!
Kerrigan is readying another assault. Be careful. The hybrid are free. Strike them down. We must.
Alright, and you want to make sure the Colossus...
Destroy the reactor. Now!
Or not the Colossus, the Immortals are stepping up and taking care of the... Oh, man. Are stepping up and taking care of the tanks. Alright, Stalkers. More Stalkers. Bring them in. Use the Chrono Boost from your bases to get them back. Okay. And we're good. use the chrono boost from the bases in order to speed up production.
We thank you, brothers. The Tal'Darim have been abducting Templar, bringing them to Terran stations, turning us into hybrid.
The Tal'Darim? Those heretics have never ventured so close to our worlds.
This can only be the work of Amon. Templar, where were they holding you? Is El Naga Temple, unlike any I have seen. It was called Eris, but its location was kept a secret from us. Mobius and the Tal'Darim both served under Naruf's command. He would have known the location of this temple. The Atreus system. This is where Amon was reborn, deep within the Sigma Quadrant, and under Tal'Darim guard.
You have aided me in my quest, Zeratul. I am honor-bound to help you in yours. We shall help you claim this temple.
Right on, so we actually finished Dark Whispers, and now we're on the tails of the Tal'Darim, it would seem. Now, these prologue missions don't have a mastery achievement associated with them, unlike a lot of the actual campaign missions. We'll start getting mastery achievements once we get into the actual Legacy of the Void campaign. But yes, we get World of Warpcraft for destroying 6 Terran units as they're warped in. Sorry, I didn't touch on this more, but that's why I used the Psystorm on the ones that were warping in. It's pretty simple to get, as long as you kind of run a bunch of zealots in and maybe storm the place, and you have 2 chances to rack up kills. Now, the last one that we have to get is Massive Aggressive, for destroy 30 Zerg units during the mission. And for that, I'm actually going to load that last save I did.
Destroy the reactor. Now!
And for this, we'll simply just attack the group as it starts going in. But as you can kind of see, this results in a lot of dead forces.
Well fought, brothers, but we should avoid the swarm in the future.
And thus we get Massive Aggressive. So, in essence, you only have to do the brutal completion, and then you can do the rest of this on normal, but there's not a whole lot that makes... There's not a whole lot that getting these that doesn't make the brutal achievement harder anyway, so might as well just do it at the same time with the saves that you do make. But with that, though, let's get the briefing on the next mission.
My forces have secured a location near the temple grounds, and we are ready to move against the Tal'Darim. This should prove to be a truly glorious battle, brother.
So we have found the Tal'Darim, but are we gonna like what secrets that they hide? Until then, this is Adventures Infinity signing out. Take it easy.